Hey peeps, it's me in a dark room. Maybe I should turn on some lights. I'm like, it's very dark. Everywhere I turn, it's dark. Let there be light. I'm gonna turn on some light. While you all come and join me. Yay! Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Denise. Hi, Eleanor. How's it going? Hello, Karen. Long time no see. Hi, Nikki. How are ya? Hi, Joanna. It's been a little bit. I've been a little bit out of my my Facebook Live groove. Hi, Laura. So it's time. It's time for a late night Facebook Live. And I wanted to actually, what is this yummy energy? Well, it's called space. It's actually called space. This thing called space. Hi, Kelly. Yeah, which is partly what I wanted to talk about, actually. Hello, Miss Christine. How are you, honey? It's nice to have you here. Is there something in the air about going inward? I don't know. For me, it's actually, so the tool that I wanted to actually talk about is one that everybody gets when they take the foundation class in Access Consciousness. So my first foundation class was, I don't know, a lot of years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, something like that. And I was given this tool. And it took me a good 7 years to start to actually use it. It took me going to a very advanced class in Access Consciousness called the Art of Creation to start using this tool. And I've done all the crazy advanced classes many times, lots of 7 days, maestro classes, millions of SOPs, the fancy classes, where everybody thinks you get the super ninja tools for creation. And then you go to this class called the Art of Creation, where the prerequisites are more advanced classes to take an even more advanced class. And guess what we talked about for 5 days? We talked about interesting point of view. My new favorite tool that I've just discovered in the past few months. We talked about interesting point of view. And interesting point of view is one of the 10 keys to freedom and access consciousness. It's truly one of the 10 keys to freedom. It's truly, you use this tool, you be this tool, you will have so much fucking freedom in your life. It is unbelievable. And it took me 7-8 years, all the classes, all the conversations, and actually starting to just choose, actually choose to use it. To see that this truly is a tool that changes everything. One tool, one easy tool. We have millions of tools in Access. All you need is one. So what is interesting point of view? If you haven't heard of this tool before or you're not familiar with Access Consciousness, it's actually a tool that creates allowance. It's like an immediate infusion of allowance, which is an energy that allows us to be present. It really is just something that creates presence. It's an energy that allows us to be present with whatever is, to get out of the points of view that we have about how things should be or how they shouldn't be or how they need to be or how they can't be or whatever. And actually, once you get into a space of allowance, there's a hell of a lot more possibility available to you. There's new questions, there's new curiosities, there's new possibilities, which is why, this class that I did called The Art of Creation, this was one of the main conversations we had for 5 days was be allowance, be interesting point of view, use interesting point of view, because true creation comes from space. True creation comes when you're willing to be a level of space that nobody else is willing to be. Now, very few people on the planet are actually willing to have true allowance. Very few people on the planet are willing to use the tool interesting point of view. I mean, shit, I wasn't until a couple months ago. And, I've been facilitating access full-time for a lot of years. But the thing is that when you use this tool, it's literally like you might have stuff going on in your head. You might have like thoughts, feelings, emotions. You might be like resisting what's going on in your life. You might be really wanting something to be different. You might be fighting with somebody. You might be fighting with yourself, whatever that is. And when you're actually willing for this tool to work, you say to yourself, interesting point of view. You can say interesting point of view, I have this point of view, or you can say interesting point of view, they have this point of view. If it's about somebody else that you're having resistance and reaction to. And what the tool can do, if you're willing to have it work this quickly, is move into your world and create space. You become space when you're willing to be what we call IPOV, interesting point of view. If you're willing to be space, this tool will create space. And what does that have to do with creation? Well, the thing that keeps us from creating is our points of view. Your point of view creates your reality. Your point of view determines the possibilities that you see available in the world. Your point of view determines how you create your business. Your point of view determines how you create your money flows. It determines how you create your relationships, how you create your body, how you create everything in your life is determined by your point of view. Your point of view creates your reality. You look from a particular point of view out on the landscape of your life. Guess what you see? You see your point of view reflected back at you. So if you put on rose-colored glasses, you're going to see rose, right? If you put on green glasses, you're going to see green. If you put on glasses of limitation, you're going to see limitation. If you put on glasses of poverty, you're going to see poverty. If you put on glasses of abundance, you're going to see abundance. If you put on the glasses of everybody hates me, nobody likes me, that's exactly what you're going to see. If you put on the glasses of I can have anything, I can create anything, I can receive anything, I can be anything, my life can look any way I would like it to, all creation is possible, that's exactly what's going to show up. That's exactly how you're going to see the world. And it seems very simple. It seems like, oh, okay, cool, then I'll just change my point of view, which you can. You can choose the point of view that's going to work for you to create the reality you would like to have. But the thing is that a lot of times our points of view are so sort of locked in, and we are so locked in to our points of view that getting out of a point of view can be tricky. It might be something that you've been running in your mind or in your field or in your world for so long that it actually feels like it's a part of you. It feels like a truth. It feels like something that couldn't possibly be not true. Hi, Celine. So it actually, oftentimes we don't even realize we have points of view. We think they're just things that are just true. It's like, well, yeah, I can't create money, or yeah, I can't grow my business, or yeah, I can't find wonderful relationships or yummy sex or have ease as a parent, or, all the big areas of life, right? And so often those are energies that are running the show in the background. They're these unconscious things that we're thinking, that we're projecting on the world. Put on the glasses of limitation, that's what you see. That's a projection on the world. And we don't even realize it. And so we're continually like carving these grooves with what's possible in our lives based on the points of view that we have that we don't even know about. Carving grooves into, we step out into the world to create something, we slip into the groove of limitation. We slip into the groove of whatever it is, that we have the point of view about that we don't even know that we have a point of view about. So when you start to use this tool, interesting point of view, it's literally like this injection of space into your world. Now, I've seen a lot of people play with this tool. We have a free Facebook group for people who want to use this tool for a year, which to me is like, using it for a year is like using it for the rest of my life. And there's all kinds of really interesting conversations in there. And sometimes the conversation is, interesting point of view. I have the point of view that I can't get my business to grow because I don't know how to do it and nobody wants to come and play with me and la 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 la. So oftentimes we actually use it to give reason and justification to our limitations, and we pretend like we're using the tool and going, oh yeah, interesting point of view. But you're really only using it if it actually works. I mean, you can use it and you can keep using it and it'll work more and more and more. But you have to allow it to work. You have to actually allow it to create space and presence in your world, which then is like taking off the glasses that determine how you see the world. And all of a sudden, guess what happens? When you take off the glasses of limitation, you're going to see a lot of new possibilities in your world. You're going to see so many different things that you could be creating. My fireplace is hot. It's April 15th, It's almost time to turn off the fire for the summer, which I'm very, very looking forward to. But it's like what I've been blown away with this tool is that my whole fucking reality is changing. My whole fucking reality is changing from using it. Karen, thank you. Karen just posted the link to the IPOV group, 12 months of IPOV group, down below in the comments. So pop down there and you can join if you would like to be part of that. It's a free group. But this is the thing is, when I first heard about this tool, I was like, yeah, great. Whatever. Yeah. Allowance. I'm allowance, which is why I didn't really use it. And when I started really using this tool, when it took getting to this highly advanced class in Access, and Gary and Dane, the creators of Access, Gary Douglas and Dane here, they show up and they're like, interesting point of view. The art of creation is about allowance. The art of creation is about allowance. The art of creation is about allowance. I'm like, maybe I should revisit this whole thing, and maybe I should actually really use it and see what happens. And what's occurring for me is this total reorganization of creation and this sense of like, what I am perceiving as possibilities in my life, totally fucking different. The things that I'm starting to ask for in my life, totally fucking different. The possibilities that I'm willing to ask for, there's this sense in my world that the things that I'm creating now, the things that I'm asking for now, have a true sense of space to them. And actually a sense of like, this is truly what I desire. Because one of the things that's happening for me is I've gotten so dynamically out of judgment of what I desire, to the degree where I actually can truly have a sense of what I desire. Because so often we don't allow ourselves to truly desire what we desire because we judge it. We're like, well, I can't want too much money, or I can't want, too much ease. I can't ask for too much ease in my life. I can't ask for too much of anything, too much of anything wonderful. You can't have too much of it, And it's like you might hear that and go, oh no, that's not my point of view. But when you start to use this tool and you start to really use it and you start to go, wow, I'm going to just say this to myself all day long, and I'm going to allow myself to have total presence when I say this phrase to myself and when I be this energy and when I use this tool, I'm going to allow myself to have total presence. Guess what total presence creates? An abundance of possibilities in your world that you would never perceive if you were not willing to be present in the way that you can be when you use this tool. So it's like this, it's like every time you use it, you open all of these doors to creation and to possibility and to the universe going, you don't have a point of view? Great. Here's the mother load of possibilities. Here's the menu that you haven't been willing to see, that you haven't been willing to look at, that you could actually be choosing from. Here you go. Total presence, it means me willing to destiny. I think destroy and uncreate my relationship, really, again. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, I've just gone through that with my relationship. Total destroy and uncreate moment. I do it every day anyway, but this was like okay, we're done. And then, oh, wait a minute, maybe we're not done. And actually, but going to space and going to okay, I don't have an agenda here. I don't have a point of view here. I'm actually really willing to have whatever is going to create the most be my reality. And you can only get to that, and you can only ask for it, and you can only choose it when you don't have a point of view. Because if you have a point of view, then there's something that you've decided that you have to have, which actually blocks out the possibilities for everything else. And this is one thing I'm looking at in every area of my life lately, and just go wow. Interesting point of view is it's like the beginning of creation. It's the beginning of a totally different space of creation. Totally fucking different space of creation. Because there aren't any points of view that are going to determine what you see as possible. There aren't any points of view that are going to stop you, or that are going to limit what you can ask for or what you're willing to receive. It's like, okay, universe, bring it on. Really bring it on and see what shows up. So my new favorite tool that's been around for a long time, that I've known about for a long time, that I've only just started using. And I kind of can't say enough about it. I can't get enough of it. It's like after zillions of advanced classes, this one, is the thing that's really changing things for me. And I would say, I've done a lot of advanced classes, so I also have the willingness to have my world change on a dime. I always say the most advanced tool in Access is stop it. I don't think it's in a manual anywhere, actually. It might be, I don't know. But willingness to go, I'm in my story, I'm in my trauma drama, and go, IPOV, interesting point of view, and actually just have your whole story, your whole trauma drama, everything that you're spinning, your whole mind, just go, whoop, quiet, space. That's a big choice. That's a big choice to say 4 words to yourself and go from trauma and drama to total fucking space. And when you're total fucking space, guess what? You can create fucking anything. 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 Your points of view determine what shows up in your life, in your business, with your money flows, in your body, with your relationships, in your family, everything. Your points of view determine all of it. And there's so many unconscious points of view that are running the show that we don't even know are there. Doesn't matter how much access you've done or how much, how enlightened you may think that you are. Everybody's got points of view that run the show. This is a tool for freedom, for fucking freedom. So worth having a go with, It might sound extraordinarily simple, and what's funny is that it actually is. And at the same time, quite advanced in a way, to be so spun out in a story and use this tool and go to space and possibility and choice and creation and receiving. It's very, very dynamic. So try it. Give it a go. Give it a whirl. I'm actually starting on Friday I'm so fucking excited about this. Interesting point of view with money. It's going to be a 21-day adventure. Greatest tool and very dynamic. I know, totally. It's going to be like an energy pull kind of a class that a lot of you guys are familiar with energy pulls. Daily Facebook Live, do an energy pull, play with the energy and the energies of different tools. And I'm so excited for this one because I really, it's like, have you ever had this happened to me when I got married, actually. I really, really, really wanted to get married. Like this was before I met the person that I married. I really was like ready. I was like, okay, my biological clock is ticking. This is when I really wanted kids and I really wanted to get married. And I hadn't met anybody yet that I was going to do that with. And I was like, I want to get married. I want to meet my husband. I want to get married. I want to get married. I want to get married. I want to have kids. I want to, blah, 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 right? Total point of view, right? And it was when I finally got to this space where I actually didn't really care if I met my husband or if I got married or if I had kids, or it was like I totally let go of the need and the necessity to get married. And literally, I was like, I don't actually need a relationship right now. I'm good, And I truly, truly got to that space. I wasn't just telling myself that. And about a week later, I met the person that I ended up marrying and having kids with. This is what happens when you get to interesting point of view, is you actually let go of your agenda and you let go of your need. When you can be IPOV, you don't have a need anymore. And guess what happens when you don't have a need? You have receiving. You have possibilities. Guess what can show up in your world? Everything. So if you can be IPOV with money, you no longer have a need for money. And guess what happens when you don't have a need for money? Money comes into your world. It's this weird, ironic, everything is the opposite of what it appears to be and nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be reality. I know for me, every time I'm in a space of like, I need money, I actually push it away. And when I'm in a space of like, I have it, I'm good. I mean, this is what the 10% account in Access Consciousness is a tool for this, actually, because you put 10% of your money away. Like you put it away for you. You actually honor you by putting 10% into a specific account that is specifically for honoring you. And it builds and it builds and it builds, and you get to a point where you actually have money, and you have an amount of money that is a substantial amount of money that takes you out of the need of money, because you have money. You can't say that you don't have money anymore. So the need of money goes out of your world, and what shows up? Money. This 10% account is like this, pull. It's like this energetic attractor of more money. And a large reason why is because you no longer have the need for money. You no longer have the point of view that you have to have it. You have it. You can be asking for more, you can be creating more, you can be receiving more, but the need is gone. IPOV with money is also an energy that gets you to that space. And it's something that I'm really, really excited to play with, because we have so many points of view about money, and there's just so much need of money in this world, and it's the thing that stops you from having it. It's the thing that stops you from receiving it. When you can get to space with it, it can come into your world in the most unexpected ways, in the most delightful and surprising and delicious and wonderful ways. When you can get to that space. And there's a space of creation with money that shows up that is so different. It's so different because it doesn't come out of need. Have you ever noticed when you need money and you create business because you need money, nobody comes to your class or shows up for your stuff or does sessions or whatever you do? Nobody comes to your thing or your business? It's because of the need. It's because of the points of view. When you don't have that, there's a really different space. Nikki, your mom used to say your problems was you didn't care about money. Yeah, and I mean, a lot of times, I mean, there's a lot to say about that, because there's a lot of different things we can talk about there, which I will dive more into in these 21 days. I love doing these conversations because I just love the energy poll format, because it gives us a chance to really dive into a conversation and see where it takes us. Like I mean, I have some ideas of where we're going to go, but I really don't. It's not like, oh, we're going to do this and this and this. It's like, let's explore. And this conversation is showing me so much already about what's actually possible with the creation of money from space. When you create money from space, you actually can receive it and you can actually have it. Carmen, love the polls with me. I know. I love the polls with you too. I love having you in the polls. So we start on Friday. If you dare be space with money, if you dare let go of your need of money, if you dare be interesting point of view with money, I think it's going to be pretty epic and wonderful. And you're invited to come and play. And I'm going to be doing it on my own, either way. That's being interesting point of view. I'm like, come or don't come. I can't wait to start. So we start Friday the 20th. And if you want to join, it's heathernichols.com/IPOV money. So IPOV money. Actually, there's one other thing I wanted to say, because this is one of my favorite things that I've heard about this tool so far. In the recent Certified Facilitators class, Access Consciousness Certified Facilitator class in Rome, I asked Gary Douglas, the founder of Access, I said, what is it that makes you, because they had this new creation come up, and I was like, what is it? I have an amazing kid making some food. He doesn't have school tomorrow. And he's so fucking cool. So fucking cool. Talk about an interesting point of view with money. That kid is brilliant with money. Anyway, I adore him just a tiny bit. So I asked Gary, I was like, because they were talking about this new creation that they had just created. And I was like, of course I'm going to do it. Of course I'm going to take that class. I take all your classes, And I was like, what is it that creates that? Like, where it's just this like, oh, new creation, I'm in. Irresistible. Totally irresistible space of where every single thing that you create, I'm going to be there, I mean, it's not like I'm in every single class, but there's new classes that get created, and I'm like, of course I'm going to take it. Of course I'm going to do that telecall. Of course, And so I said, what is that? What is it that makes you irresistible in your business? And he said, interesting point of view. So if that's not a, motivator to use the damn tool that nobody uses, really, there's a few people that do. If that's not a motivator to use it, then I don't know what is. I mean, it's a fun space. It's a really fun space. So come and play. Let's be IPOV with money, or don't. Whatever you do, I dare you to use it. And if you come and play, we're going to have some pretty epic conversations, because I love this shit. So I adore you guys. Have way too much fun with the rest of your day, night, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being here. If you want to play, again, it's heathernichols.com/IPOV money. I dare you to use this tool on your own mind and see what happens, because it'll change shit and your life will get greater if you dare. My life is like exploding in every way the more I use this tool, and I can't believe I waited this long. And I'm so glad I chose it. Have fun. Bye.